Okay, next, let's go after our slideshow. That's the next item, of course, inside our layout. Now, for the slideshow, what I did is I snagged the dimensions of the slideshow right out of our Illustrator wireframe and our Photoshop design. So we're going to set up this slideshow container inside the CSS to be exactly the same. Okay, so it's going to be 840 pixels in width by 300 pixels in height. So let's go and set this up here. I'm going to head all the way back to the code here, my external style sheet all the way back here, the high resolution media query, of course, underneath my navigation menu there. I hope you like that trick, by the way. And here we go. This is going to be number sign slideshow. Okay, now I want to explain why if I head back to my HTML just for a quick moment. Remember, this is how we set this guy up to be an ID selector that's going to be controlling a div. Okay, so this is how we're gonna pull this off here. So we're gonna go number sign slideshow just like so, and then for his properties here inside his squiggly brackets, well, let's set up the dimensions that I just mentioned a moment ago. So let's go width and then 840 pixels, and we'll go height. Full colon space, and we said 300 pixels. Okay, there we go. And let's see. The other thing that I want to do, this is kind of a cool trick, is the slideshow itself should be centered inside the layout, right? If I once again refer back to the Photoshop design or the Photoshop layout, he's centered inside the overall width of the layout, right? So earlier on, you saw how we could center the overall layout via the master, right? Well, we can do the exact same thing for objects that appear inside the master, like the slideshow. And if you're not sure exactly how to do that or you don't remember it was just margin full colon space and then 0 and auto. So that's, again, a pretty cool technique, and it's cool that we can apply it to something that's sitting inside the master, like the slideshow. So a good trick to know. All right, so there we go. That's that. The only other thing that I want to do is I want to throw on a temporary background just so we can see this guy. And let's see, I'm just going to go RGB, so background full colon space, and then RGB. And the RGB color values that I'm going to use, again, are just going to be sort of that mid-gray color, the same gray that we used on our header, like so. All right, good stuff. That should do it for the slideshow for now. Go ahead and save up your external style sheet and head back to your browser and refresh, and voila, there's our slideshow. Okay, of course, with the dimensions there and the background color, notice also he's centered inside the overall layout, which is great. So if you want, you could try scaling your browser window larger and smaller, and you'll see that this guy indeed centers inside the layout. Don't scale your browser window down too far because you'll break into the next media query. But in any regard, there we go. There's our slideshow. Next up, we have our 3 content boxes.